Hey guys, I hope this is working. So it's been a long time since I've streamed, so bear with me, and let's just make sure this is all working properly before I dive into the video, the review. This is like an impromptu review, and I'm going to do my first driving on track and all sorts. So let's just check you can hear me. Hey guys. Yeah. Well, I can hear me through YouTube, so that means it's working. So welcome. I'm going to have the chat up. Whilst I'm not driving, we are going to work on a way to see the chat during the driving because it's quite important. It's very, very difficult to do with VR, but I'm going to make it work. So for the moment, I'll just get the chat up whilst I'm going to give you a little bit of a talk through this rig, and I'm going to tell you everything about this, the computer and the frame and everything. Let's just check some of these other angles that we've got, because I just finished this afternoon. So here we go. We've got the full wide angle view of the room. So I've had to obviously reset every single camera, all the cables, everything. So it's a long process, but it's really important to do it properly. You can see we've got this camera out here on the wall. Now that was previously mounted on my old seat, but it always got knocked. So the steering wheel view here was always a little bit like out of focus and facing the wrong way. So we've now got a proper steering wheel cam. That's that little guy over there. We've got the camera up here. Driver cam. That one actually just worked first time, just plugging it back in. We've got pedal cam, the OBP pedal cam down there, and obviously we've got the this overview that we're looking at here. We've also got a chat page, but weirdly, because Restream isn't working for me at the moment, we've got a logo on there that shouldn't be there. I've just noticed that, so we won't use that page at all. Please ignore that one. I didn't realise there were sponsor logos on that one. We've got a couple of kind of intro stingers and things which I've got to work on because I normally have a cool video showing like the Nürburgring racing, DNLS and that kind of thing, but I haven't got anything for this kind of new season. So I'll do that, but what else? I think that's it for the moment. So we'll stick on this main screen. This lets you see iRacing. Anyway, guys, welcome. So as you've probably noticed if you've followed me at all before, I've got a new rig. That's the title of this video, and this rig is a SimLab P1-X. It's basically the top of the range SimLab. Just bringing the chat up so we can talk. And thanks for letting me know it sounds good. It's good to know because the microphone isn't exactly where it was before. Yeah, so we've got a P1-X. We've got a new relationship with a new sponsor and partner, which is SimLab. So massive thanks to those guys for sending me this rig within a few days of chatting to them. So thanks, Richard. And it's really like recognized as kind of like the top of the range, the best of the best. So real happy to have that here. It took me a while to build because I didn't set it up in the normal way. I didn't follow the instructions except for certain parts which I had to understand how they fitted together. This is normally set up in like a GT style. So if I go back to the wide view, normally, and you can't see from this view how reclined I am, but normally, I'll show you on this camera, normally you sat kind of quite upright like that, and in this thing we're really reclined like this, with the idea being that your feet are basically a little bit higher than your bum, so like a Formula 1 seat position rather than a GT seat position. In order to do that, you have to sink the seat down inside the rig, and it's designed to have a seat on top of it, and all the components are made for that. So it took me a while to really work out how to make everything fit. Anyone who watched my live stream yesterday will have seen me trying to work all that out. Was it yesterday? I think it was last night. It's a blur. So yeah, anyway, we've got it built. Everything is now finally in exactly the right position for me. So having the steering wheel the right distance away, and having the pedals the right height and all that kind of thing. It's a slightly unusual mounting I've done here. Most people do it kind of the normal way. So actually, that's probably the best screen to stay on for the moment, because you can see the whole rig. So we've got the OBP pedals here still. You can see the Pro Race V2 hydraulic pedals. One thing I've changed about these, and I'll explain why, is I've made the brake pedal a little bit softer than it was before. You still won't see it move. If I apply maximum brake pressure now, see there's like half a centimetre travel maybe. That's like pushing with all my weight. And actually, you can see the seat move. I'm braking so hard. So if you have a look at the seat in the middle of the screen here, you see when I brake, there's that little bit of flex. And that brings me on to really my first part of my honest review of everything I've got here. The rig itself, the P1-X, obviously it's solid. It's very, very heavy duty aluminium, bolted together with massive bolts. There's no way this is going to move. You could climb all over it and nothing's going to move. But something SimLab don't have control over is obviously how flexible a Sparco seat is, because it's not made by them. And this is a dedicated sim seat from Sparco. It's like their top-of-the-range single-seater sim seat. But yeah, there's some flex there. There's obviously no flex in the base where my bum is pressing in, but where my back is kind of bracing when I'm braking, there's definitely flex there, but that's because I have the brake pedal set very, very hard, as you can see, and there's not really any seat on the market that I could get that wouldn't do that, and it's exacerbated by the fact that I'm reclined so much. So that is what it is. That's what made the brake pedal a bit softer, because if it was as rock solid as before, I absolutely couldn't press it hard enough to make the brakes work. So we've had to do that. We are still using the Cube Controls steering wheel coupled with the Simucube 2 Pro wheelbase. You just noticed some padding that I've stuck to it. It started to fall off, so I need to stick that on a bit more strongly, because my knees, with this being also low, my knees kind of hit the steering wheel base. What else do I have to show you? We've still got the Valve Index VR system, so we'll be using the VR. That's why we've only got one screen, and it's not this massive triple screen thing. Makes it much easier to fit in the room as well. But maybe at some point we'll upgrade to an ultra wide. But you can see I've run out of space with the wall here, and it would come out here somewhere. So we'll make it quite hard for anyone using the. You can't see, but there's a desk over here. Make it hard for them. And finally, I guess we talk about the computer. M4M, as well as buying me this seat, because this is one thing I could have had a SimLab seat included with this package, but I wanted to go for the top of the range thing that I'm never going to have to replace. You know, that's like the thing I really wanted for all the F1 racing we're doing here, and that was this Sparco GP seat. So thanks for M4M over here on my top, and logos. Where's the other M4M logo? Oh, by my face up here. M4M also bought me an amazing graphics card, which is in the computer over there. So that's all the same as it was before. And for anyone who's geeky enough to care, it is a fully custom built computer. I built the whole thing myself. I've got a GeForce 3080 graphics card. That's what M4M bought. We've got a 5950X processor, which is basically top of the range, unless you're paying $5,000 or something. We've got an MSI 570 something motherboard. I think the motherboard's obviously not the sexiest bit. 64 gig of RAM, water cooled with the Corsair radiator and stuff. So there we go. It's a very, very fast computer. Good for video editing and for sim racing, especially when you've got VR. So let's fire up iRacing. This week in the Formula One, it's Road America. It's one of my least favorite tracks, but it's not a real Formula One track. Obviously, it's a real track, but it's not a track I've ever driven F1 cars at before. It's a little bit narrow for F1 cars, and it's a really easy track to crash on. Very, very hard on the tyres, so that'll be interesting. Let's fire that up right now. I'll just join a session. I'm not going to do any racing tonight. I'm going to be doing... here we go. There's a session that's just gone up. Finishes at 9:30. It's got an hour and 20 minutes left. Well, that's probably about right, isn't it? Let's go for that one. Well, actually, there's an American one that's gone up that's got 5 people in. We'll go for that one. So I'll just join that session. Where was I? We're talking about the racing. Yeah, I'm not going to do any racing tonight. I haven't done enough laps. I hate entering the races unless I'm really prepared. So need to do a few full runs, which take an hour each time. Need to know how long the fuel lasts. Need to get the setup right. Need to be comfortable. I'm not going to crash. So all that kind of stuff. I'll do a race later in the week. Obviously, the big race is Saturday night, so I'll aim to do that. Are we loaded yet? Let's have a little look. Join. Right, just joining the session on iRacing, and that should load up here, hopefully in front of us. Fingers crossed. Let's have a look at the chat. Sorry, so I'm going to try and answer your questions, guys, if you've got any. So Sam says you can hear me fine. Martin says hi. Looking at those crispy clean shoes. Nom nom. So Dan, those shoes, these are £340 Alpine Stars F1 spec boots. These are like Alpine Stars top of the range. If you see the F1 drivers, these are the boots they wear. I didn't get them for sim racing. I got them for BTCC, and so that's why I've got them. I don't need them. I'm not doing any car racing this year. Sim racing puts extremely low levels of wear on a race boot, so I wear them. They're like wearing Lovely slippers, look at them. I'm wearing dinosaur Christmas socks with them. Chair looks comfortable, says Martin. The chair is the most comfortable thing ever. So, yeah, it certainly is. Oh, you can't see because the setup screen's up. There we go. Sorry, read the rest of the chat before we drive. Any issues with the chair? No, apart from the little bit of flex, which you do absolutely expect. Because unless I brace the back of it, it has to flex. There's really not much it can do. It's definitely worth it still. Goki says, I got a TR80, I guess, yesterday. I have a question. Does it get softer over time? Because right now it's a bit hard to rotate. So I don't quite know what you mean, Goki, about rotate. I don't know what you would... Oh, you mean T80. Is this a steering wheel or a rig? The rig won't get softer over time. I thought you were talking about a sim rig. If you're talking about a steering wheel, I also don't know. So just explain what you mean there, Goki. How much does this whole setup cost? Thankfully for me, very, very little. I think the only thing I've paid for on this rig is obviously parts of the computer I paid for. The VR I paid for. And like all the peripherals, cameras and stuff like that. But the seat, the frame, the pedals, the wheelbase, all that kind of thing, I was very kindly sponsored. So Paul says, how is it, bro? It's awesome. And you're about to see in a minute when I drive. Sam Swallow, mind if we join along as we don't get in the way? Yeah, of course. Come and join me. I'm in the American session. Oh, and I can see you're in here, Sam. I can see on the screen there. I'll buy 2 pairs. So when I sell a kidney. It's a steering wheel. Oh, right. Okay, so I don't know what a T80 steering wheel is, Goki, I'm afraid. So I'll have to look into that. Right. Shall I get going? Should we do some driving? So what we're going to do is we'll turn off the music. Because you don't want music whilst I'm driving. So just bear with me. We're going to do some laps. I'll talk to you whilst I'm doing it. You know, sorry I can't read the messages whilst I'm driving, but I'm only going to do a qualifying run. I'll be back in the pits after 3 laps, have a look at the chat, and we'll carry on. Just let me know if there's any issues as well. Right, and I need these gloves because my hands get so sweaty on this wheel. Guys, you're also going to see what looks like a bald patch on my head from the rear view. That's why I'm wearing a hat. But it's not really a... It might be. I'm getting to the age where I could probably get a bald patch, but I think it's just where I've had my hair cut, and it's I've got a crown, so don't judge me too much. But I am getting on a bit. Right. So, hopefully the sound is coming through the. In fact, just before I go and drive for a bit, let's just check you can actually hear engine sound. Let's rev the engine a bit. Yeah, you can hear engine. Cool, that's good. Let's go. So the goggles are a little bit dirty, but... Right, I need to try and turn the volume up as well. It's a little bit quiet, but it'll do for the moment. So who's this? Artie Smith, don't know him. Oh, I'm not quite sure what setup we've got on here, but... Hopefully it's a Road America setup. So, just first thing to note is, it is so bloody comfortable. I'm sat absolutely in the right position. Everything is in the right place. So bear with me whilst I get used to Road America, guys.
Sorry, Ben.
That's alright, man. No worries, although chatting to you, I have just driven off the track. Right, so got to learn where the DRS zones are. We're in one right now, but I'm not using DRS yet. And guys on the chat, if you've got any comments about the volume versus the engine sound, let me know. I can try and adjust that. Like I said, we've not streamed in a while, so everything's a little bit wonky. So time to beat 36.4. Here we go, onto a lap now. First DRS zone coming up. Oh, bit of grass. Just made it. Not looking forward to going through there once the tyres are worn in the race. Look at how close the barriers are. I lost a bit of time there, just driving on the grass. Kind of got sucked onto the grass. Right, one more lap on this tank of fuel. DRS open again. Front tyre starting to give up already. Lots of understeer on this lap. Oh, massive understeer at the final corner. Okay, so 33.3 is our first qualifying time. So obviously you can see it's purple. That means it's the fastest lap I've ever done. I've never driven here before, which is to be expected. So, right, okay, so I'll take the headset off in a sec. But first impressions from that are just that I literally feel like I'm sat in a single-seater. So for the first time ever, I'm driving an F1 car on iRacing, sat in the same position as my virtual driver, with my my arms down by my sides here, wheel nice and close, reclined but with my head upright, the top of my back just upright, and my feet level with my bum pretty much, just like you can see my virtual driver. It is absolutely bang on, and I'm also not overheating sat in the cockpit, because in my old rig I had to, because the seat was so massive, I had to sit in my BTCC molded seat, which is obviously very nice and tight fitting for me, but it was very hot because it's wrapped right around you, whereas this is just like, it's just like sitting in a Formula 1 bed. It's so nice. Right, so let's hop out, have a think about setup and stuff, check that there were no technical issues, maybe just review the lap, and then we'll go again. So we just pop this down here for a moment. Go. So, where's the live chat? Okay, so both kidneys for those gloves. Most of us here are from the Receding Hairline Club. Yeah, okay, good, thanks. At least I'm not alone. So I'll just prop this back up so I can see what you can see. There we go. Would the GP fit on a GT1 Evo? So that's a really good question. I mean, with these aluminium rigs, you can basically fit anything on anything, can't you? They're quite customizable. You know, this is completely customized already. I would be surprised if the GP doesn't fit on that, because if you mount any other seat on there, then the seat runners should be the same. But, you know, they should kind of be just as adjustable. So I would say yes. You might have to do some additional modification to get your feet as high as I've got mine here, because this P1-X is just super adjustable. What else? Baz says, yo. Hi, Baz. The engine in the voice sounds good. Okay, well, that's good. So the volume's good. Imagine my brakes failed. That'd be horrible. Well, let me show you a video of something that happened earlier to me when I inadvertently unplugged the steering wheel. How do I show a video on here? I think if I go to videos, I think I can show you exactly what happened. So let's just see if this is showing. Display. Right, okay, so what's this, guys? Oh, that is not the right video. One sec. It's... Oh, where did I put the video? Right, back in a moment. I'll just turn that off. How weird. I had a really cool video of a massive crash. So that's all I wanted to show you. Okay. I think we've got it. No one's beaten my time yet, have they? So is that John Pat Kelly's now 34. Dan Fisher 34.6. It's getting close. So it wasn't too bad a time then for a first run. Okay. Here's the crash. Here we go. I'll show you my display. Try this again. Yeah, so this was driving down the straight at this track, checking that the pedals were working, and this was my first lap, and I unplugged the steering wheel cable with my knee. About here. There we go. So yeah, there we go. Don't unplug the steering wheel cable with your knee. Here's the lesson there. Right, so I think we're going to do another run. I quite like this setup. So I'm using the Pure Driving School, the PDS Pro. Oh no, this PDS qualifying. I don't know what this temperature... 41 degrees, that seems quite hot to me. But I don't know if that's normal at this track. Baz says, when are we back out here? Baz is out in Germany. I don't know. Next year, probably, Baz, as it stands. And Baz, yeah, new rig. Yep, so SimLab, you can see the sponsor down the bottom, Baz. SimLab sponsored me with a new rig. Would it be possible to be in the same position as me? Luke's asking about if he had a GT1 cockpit. I'd have to look into that, but I'm sure it's possible. Anything's possible with these aluminium rigs. The only thing that you would need to check is how high you can get the pedals, because I don't know how the pedals work. I think the GT1 pedals are actually really adjustable. If you can get the pedals up high, then you can definitely get in the same position as me. Right, okay, let's go do another run. You're not here to hear me just talk rubbish. Let's do another run. So we'll do one more qualifying run, and then I'll do like a little race stint. And the great thing is, Becca has gone out for the evening, so I can do as much sim racing as I want. Right. Check the brakes again. There we go. So Klaus has beaten me. So we've got someone now to beat in qualifying. Oh, I got a black flag for speeding in the pits. Let's try again. So let's try a gentler outlap to preserve the tyres. We've been beaten by exactly a tenth. These soft tyres are pretty fragile. I'm going to try not to scrub them too much on this outlap. Okay, so gentle outlap finish. Let's see if we can improve on that previous time. I'm going to be learning all the little kind of tricks of this track, which curbs you can use, all that kind of thing. So there's plenty of lap time to come. Oh, he's done a 32 now, so now we're not just a tenth behind. We're going to have to find a good setup as well. Sam Swallow from the chat is in front of us.
Please don't get it again.
Oh! That was such a big snap, I actually punched myself in the face. Right, okay. Let's try that again. Oof. So let's just have a little watch. I'm going to say I think I probably touched the grass there. Oh, there was already people up there. So what happened? Did I go on the grass on the exit? No. Whoa, it was just, I wasn't even near the grass. It was just curb.
Oh, that was hilarious.
Yeah, it took me by surprise, that. Yeah, just the curb. Oof.
You have to start wearing boxing gloves to keep punching yourself in the head.
Yeah, it wasn't good. Like, the VR will break if I do that too often. It's quite fragile. Try again. So, I don't know if you noticed, but I was up a little bit in the first sector, so I think the slow outlap helped. Oh, there's someone on a fast lap behind us. Oh, sorry whoever we just got in the way of there. I think we just put someone in the wall. Was that?
It was only the start of the lap, don't worry.
So, sorry about that, dude. I saw you coming and tried to dive past the car in front, and then it wasn't enough.
What you did, I'll probably be through to the other car.
Alright, this is where we just lobbed it. Yeah, it's very bumpy over that curve, so I just have to bear that in mind. Oh, it's nice to be live streaming again, and thanks to the amazing graphics card bought by M4M, I'm streaming at 144 frames per second, or I'm seeing 144 frames per second whilst streaming with all the graphics turned up, so that's nice. Okay, let's try again. Turn 1 was good, turn 2 was bad. Little lock up. On the curb again. Now the rear tyres are cooking a bit. Oh, it's on edge around here. It's really on edge. The rear keeps moving around. Oh, touch the dirt. So that was pretty much matching my best lap, but not any quicker. Thank you. Oh, so wide in the final corner. Okay, so loads of time to gain. Let's do another qualifying run. So it was a 2. Found a 10th, but lost 2 tenths over the lap. So let's try again. How far are we off? We're like 4 tenths off, but optimal lap was only 2 tenths off. Need to try a different setup as well.
Oh, yeah, I nearly got you.
What setup are you using, Sam?
VRF.
VRS, okay. Any chance I could try it?
Yeah, if you accidentally looked in... Oh, I accidentally shared something.
Okay. Have you got PDS, or would you like it?
I'd like to try it, please.
One sec, I'll just find it. There you go, you should have that now. I'm just going to load yours and give it a try. I assume that was qualifying run and not a race run, so.
Yeah, it was quality on VRS. I was trying to chase your time. I'm going to have a go with the PDS then and see what you think of VRS. Thanks for that, I'll give it a go.
Yeah, thanks, man. I never use VRS, but it's just because I don't have a subscription. You know, you've got to kind of commit to one, haven't you?
Yeah, absolutely. I found VRS is far more unstable, but obviously unstable means it's a little bit quicker if you can hook it. But the quality's okay, but the race is a little bit unstable, a bit harsh, the tyres.
I'm not bothered about what you two are using, DRS or whatever. I want to know what Faust is using. Jeez.
Yeah, that's a good point. So my first impressions stream of this VRS is it seems to have a nicer front end. I know we're not on a quick lap and we're going gently, but it just seems to turn in better. Although without actually feeling G-force, you get limited information. Obviously through the steering wheel you can definitely feel something. I'll come back and talk to the chat after this run, guys. Just want to try back to back with so VRS is Virtual Racing School. And PDS is Pure Driving School, so it's two different setup shops, effectively, where you can subscribe to get good setups. And I normally get Pure Driving School setups. Someone's been driving all the way along the grass there. Right, here we go. Bit of grass. So we're dead level at the moment. Absolutely dead level, look. 0.00 difference. Oh, okay. Sam was right about it being unstable. So these tyres are toast. We'll have to try again. We did find half a tenth actually in sector 1, so there's some promise. Let's try again. Here's our time marks. So we're going really slow through here because this corner will cook the front left. That one too, actually. Here we go. Too much grass there. Oh, I've really cocked this one up already. I mentioned, didn't I, it's a bit narrow, this track. It's also very bumpy. Okay, we found a bit of time and I cocked up several sections. Ah, front tyres are gone already. That sucks. Oh, I just wanted to lock up. So you've really got to nail it on the first lap. But look at our predicted time look now, 32.7. So this is the one, but geez, you have to hang on to it. So let's have a little look at the chat, and I'm going to go back out and do some more because I think we can go fastest. I just need to not cock it up. See if anyone said anything. Rosso Sim Racing. Hi Rosso. Looking forward to the new single-seater steering wheel. Rosso. Baz can't even go to the 24 hours at Nürburgring. Gone throttle too early. I just flew over the curb. Kind of a combination, Goki. It was both hard on the power and over the bumps. Road America. Just for me, you shouldn't have. Hi, Jeff. Thanks for watching, Jeff. Just swap that to live chat so we see everything. And yeah, nice to see you, Rosso. So I'm looking forward to, like I say, the secret project that we're working on. Right, let's go again. Got to beat those times because our predicted time is now quicker than the top time here. I just need to not screw up the lap. Let me know if you've got any comments on how the stream looks, anything that needs to be improved. And after the next couple of runs, guys, I'll give you a bit more of a review of the P1-X that I'm using. Thanks very much to SimLab once again for getting this to me, saving the day. So we'll just take a nice easy out lap, because as you saw, on the second flying lap, the front tyres are gone. What do you think of PDS, Sam?
I'm slower on it, buddy.
Yeah, I think VRS is quicker because my predicted time is, I've already found like 3/10, so.
Oh, jeez. Now giving you the fuel for it.
I wonder what's the other one? Major's Garage. That's what I've been using the last few races. I think Ugolotti uses that as well.
Yeah, Alex gave us the race one yesterday. He said it was running pretty steady.
I had a look on there today. I couldn't see any like pro versions. There was only like the baseline, the free version.
Yeah, I couldn't find any quali one either, just the race from what I could see.
That was rubbish, turn 2. Rubbish! And I just did not slow down enough for that hairpin. So we'll just take a bit of a cool down. See if we can keep some life in these tyres for a second flying lap. But yeah, I'm pushing really, really hard and I did not nail that one. Anybody watch any of the racing at the weekend? I'm sure you all watched F1. Anybody watch the BTCC? It's pretty exciting. I only caught the third race, but Jake Hill was close, wasn't he? Almost got that win. Love when people do those gambles on the slicks. What else we have? We have Formula E, Monaco. That was cool. That's probably my favourite race of the weekend, probably. And we had Formula 3. Formula 3 didn't do a lot for me. I don't know any of the drivers yet this year, so. Okay, here we go. One more try on this set of tyres. Oh my god, I'm 4th now. How am I losing a 10th in turn 1? Oh, I forgot DRS, that won't help. It's a rubbish lap. Where's all the time going? It's like the brakes are on. This is such a slow lap. It's like the slowest one I've done. It's weird. Maybe the track temperature's gone up or something. Look at that. Oh, okay, right. So we'll just abort this. That was it was like the amount we were losing time was like the brakes were stuck on, but they weren't. Weird. Try again. The fastest time of the
I
session.
think the track's getting hotter, Brad. Gone up to 39 degrees from 37.
Okay, that might explain it a bit because yeah, I'm just going slower.
Yeah, same.
But I can't moan too much because 2 people just did quicker times than me.
Hackers.
We're trying a slightly faster outlap this time, guys, in case you hadn't noticed. Still slow through this. They call this carousel, but it's obviously not the carousel. Oh, I just locked up again. Good until then. And again, no front end at all. Weird. It's like the front tyres just melt. First 2 corners were good, at least. Let's see what actually happened at that hairpin. I think I was a little bit too gentle on the brakes initially. And then had to brake harder. Yeah, front left lock up. Oh, look at that. That'll be why we were wide. And then here, just horrible understeer. Again, a lock-up, but the lock-up was after it wouldn't turn in. So I'm like trying to turn. It won't turn. And then I have to brake a little bit longer than I want to try and get it to go. Have a little quick check of the chat before I pound round for some more laps. Thomas, have you put your seat up 10 centimetres in the black box? Yes, I'm up as high as possible so I can see as much as possible. Well spotted, Thomas. Cool. Right, let's try again. Determined to go quickest here, guys. Yeah, so my seat is high, so I can see where I'm going better. What I mean by that, I don't mean my real seat, I mean the virtual seat. So if I go here, you can see I can drop it right down, but then I can't see. You know, some people have it down there, but I hate that because it makes it harder to see into the distance. So high as possible, like you would do in real life if it didn't affect the performance badly. Gently through here, just to look after the front left again. Same through here. Come on, we can do this. Okay, again, no front end through that corner. What is going on? Okay, so let's change the brake bias because this is obviously not right. So brake balance is only at 50%. How am I locking the fronts when I've got 50% brake bias? That first sector was really good as well. Right, we'll go 49.5 front bias. Try again. That was a really good first sector. Okay, so for those for whom it isn't obvious, I've just changed on the steering wheel there where it says 49.5. That was at 50. Just changed the brake bias, which means basically making the rear do 50.5% of the braking, which is weird, but I was locking the front, so. random oversteer in the middle of... Random oversteer in the middle of the carousel. What? Really good lap up until then. Rear just snapped. The tyres are probably cooked, but we'll try again anyway. Oh, this VRS setup is unforgiving. I don't think we're going to have any tyres on this lap, but we'll try. Well, I'm glad we tried, because look at that, we found some time, but Jesus, that was on the edge. That needs a replay. Poof. Right, let's watch that back from a different view. Here we go. Right, what view shall we go for? Let's go with this. Okay, so I'm just going to break this down because I need to know what on earth I did well and what I did badly. So, turn 1. So, down 2 gears rather than 3. So, down 2. Where did we brake? Oh! The brakes are sticking on. Look at that on the straight. Look. I'm getting a little flickering of brake coming on. So, I need to fix that. So, we brake at... there. Brake at just before the 3 cones. And boo. There, yeah, so just before the 3 cones. Use a little bit of curb. Obviously ride the understeer wide. Okay, so just about the right amount of curb. Somehow it seemed to just stick that time. I don't know what I did differently. Trailed the brakes a little. You can see that by this point the brakes are off. Yeah, so it's like an initial trail. Obviously coming up to the DRS activation point. Click the DRS on. So we're braking just before the 2 marker. Down 6 gears. And maybe we can get away with 5, because look, when I get down to 2nd, it kind of is straight away on up to another gear. So maybe I could get away with going down to 3rd rather than 2nd. And this time, to avoid locking up the hill, I just braked early. and started braking on the uphill section. So you see here, we're on the brakes on the uphill section. Trying not to start the braking as we crest the hill, because obviously that will cause a lock-up. And look at, I was really, you can see the past experience with the steering. You can see how tentative I was turning in. I was like coaxing it in. Watch all the steering inputs here. Turn, 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 turn. I was like, is it going to work? We come off the throttle through here. This should be flat out, but I go down to 2/3 throttle. Four down there. So this time I just chose to go through here with a kind of a fast entry and then just really wait at the apex. So just like, I didn't try and go wide and then cut back at a high speed. We just went in, and then here, look at half throttle, down to half throttle, all the way around here, half throttle, learning from the oversteer we had on the lap before, because the car couldn't take the direction change. When I went in fast, rotated it and got on the gas hard to angle kind of out here, from over here cutting across, at the point of rotation, the rear snapped, and I'll look back at that just to show you what I'm on about. But this lap I thought we'd just hold it tight, constant steering, smooth on the gas. Obviously, as the speed picks up, you've got more downforce. So by this point, although the corner is now tighter for me than it would have been if I was approaching out here, I've got more downforce, so I'm going quicker. We're doing 250k. What's that? 160, 170 miles an hour at this point. So loads of downforce. So you can get away with a bit more steering lock. DRS again. Now, I actually lost some time at this next corner, trying to be a little bit too careful. I was just hesitant on the throttle. Look how long I waited. So no throttle, no throttle, no throttle. Little tiny bit more. Holding it. I was a long time before. I'm still not at full throttle, just now. So not confident there. Definitely lift off through here as well. Just a little, just to stop the rear coming around. We'll even touch the grass or the dirt. Just here on the left, really maximising the entry. Look, a little bit of dirt. Cleared up just in enough time to make the corner. And that's really the nicest I've done that final corner. So let's look at the lap before, and I'll show you what I mean about the oversteer through that long right-hander they call carousel. So I think this is that lap. That was the same lap, so hang on, it's this one. Here we go. So it should be pretty obvious. So this time I try and go wide and cut back to carry that speed, and the car snaps. There. So rather than going on the next lap, I was over here. On this lap, I tried to stay wide, carry the speed in, and it couldn't cope with it. If we go on an outside view, you see the kind of angle we had on there. Really, I mean, it might have been a kick of power oversteer as well, which is crazy in such a high-speed corner. And that really ruined it. And then we're offline on the dirt, miles wide, and then on the grass. So there we go. That's that. Let's see. Are we still top? Is someone beating us? Still top at the moment by just under a tenth. So it was obviously was a decent lap in the end. So go back to the pits. See if anyone's been saying anything. Difference between sim racing and competitive sim racing. Time to consume 10 gallons of water to make up for the fluids lost on that quali shot. Yeah. So if I tilt my head on the turns, I think it's probably more looking into the corner.
Enough for me now. I'm happy as I am. It feels like I've been at the gym for the first time in well ever.
It's been a while since I've been on the sim, so I'm feeling quite warm. But fortunately, I've got a massive fan right in front of the rig, so it's keeping me cool. can we get the outside view for your next laps? Like that view. Oh, so you can see the rig. Yeah, of course. Yeah, okay. Let's. Thanks, Martin. Yeah, never give up. Right, I'll do another quali run, and I'll do it from the outside view for you, so you can actually see what it looks like when I'm driving, but you won't see the screen as much. So if we go to wide view, there we go. You'll see the whole thing like this. Sorry, it's not very.
Is that a pair of hands on your VR as well?
Sorry, just say that again.
Sorry, mate. Is that a pair of hands on your VR as well?
Oh, well spotted. Yeah, it is actually. So this valve index has a USB plug built in the front and a removable magnetic cover, and this is like a little plug-in fan that it actually keeps the headset cool rather than keeping me cool, but it does pump out quite a lot of heat.
Oh, good to know. Good to know.
It does look very integrated. I like it. Right, I'm going to go do some laps from an outside view. Let's try.
Yeah, take it easy. I'll watch the stream. See you later, buddy.
Cheers, guys. See you later. Right, let's go again. And I've seen Rosso Sim Racing. I've seen that you've WhatsApped me. I will have a look at that in a moment. Right, let's go again. Try and cement what we just learnt then. So it's a medium outlap to get enough temperature in the tyres, but not too much. And then it is second gear for turn 1. Remember the DRS down this straight. Brake early down 6 gears. And then try and use a little bit of the dirt and the curb on the inside. Again, up here, brake early, down 2 gears whilst you're going up the hill. Use a bit of the inside curb. Mind the bump on the exit. Flat out through this 90 right if you can, but be ready for the rear to step. Oh, the brakes are sticking on again. The brakes are sticking on. I can see it on the screen. Right, we've got to stop and recalibrate the brakes. That's annoying. And this is the problem. When I run a softer brake pedal, they seem to go out of calibration. I'm not sure why. That's annoying. Okay. Yeah, look, you see the brakes are on. And I calibrated it so when I rest my foot on it, it should have no brakes on at all. So I don't know why it's doing that, but let's just calibrate again. It's annoying because you get used to a certain amount of pressure on the brake and stuff, and then you have to readjust each time. It's the throttle. Right, brake. So I'm leaning on the pedal to make sure that it calibrates with some pressure. That is annoying. How am I going to stop it doing that? Okay, I think I know how. I'll do it once we finish this stream. There's some software I need to use. It's okay, I'll do it after this stream. Let's go try again. It's like the one thing I forgot to do when rebuilding the rig. So I need to get used to a different amount of brake pressure now. Oh, yeah, okay. Yeah, I have to brake harder now to make it work. This is quite a fast outlap, this one. Here we go. Turning a little bit late there. Oh, I forgot the DRS. Idiot. Forgot to press DRS. Right, we'll just chill out on this lap because it's not going to be this one. Try again on the next lap. Oh, I touched the grass. I was watching for the marker point. So I never really look for brake markers. And that time I was looking for the 3 cones. Because you remember from the review lap, there are those 3 cones. And I touched the grass instead. So let's just change the view back so you guys can see the normal view. Where is it? Main screen. There we go. That's what happened. Little bit of grass. Round she goes. One more try. Last go, and then I think we're probably going to sign off, guys. Oh, it's P2 in front of us there, Dennis. Okay, so it wasn't a super hot outlap, it was a medium outlap again. Let's go for one more flyer, or two more flyers, provided the car's not in the barriers. Oh, look how close Dennis got to us. He's 100th off now. That was close, Dennis.
Yeah, not close enough though.
Oh. So again, I was a bit too close to the grass there at turn 1, so we'll just cruise around for this one and do the second flyer. Right, this will be the final flying lap of the night, guys. Win it or bin it on this one. Let's see what we can do. Don't expect miracles, because the last 2 laps I've been off at turn 1. The problem is, to get to these kind of times, you have to absolutely hang it all out on the line. Especially at this stage of the week, when I haven't really done any practice, so... Later in the week, I'll probably be able to do these times more effortlessly. Oh, grass again! I thought I gave a margin that time. Smack my arm on the seat. Let's just keep going and see what we get. Can't believe we went on the grass again! Such a high-speed corner, you really try and open it up as much as possible, but... Push like crazy for the rest of that.
It's really difficult to put a full lap together.
Yeah, the track is pretty warm.
Well, it wasn't going to be a quick one. And we went wide at the last corner, but did find 300 in that penultimate sector there. Look. Got a purple sector there. And then bent the car completely. Guys, right, so there we go. Let's do some summing up, some final thoughts on the rig. Pop this down here. Oof. Okay. Let's make it so I can see you guys. There we go. So, first of all, it's so cool. Just sitting in this position, I've just had such a nice, relaxing time. It does feel right. And it's so nice to not be in a compromised position. And I know, obviously, I will do some GT racing on iRacing at some point, but I do definitely not do a lot of it. I always do Formula 3 or Formula Renault or Formula 1. So it just makes sense to have a seat position which is correct. So I'm really happy we've done that. Massive thanks to SimLab and M4M for making this possible, because it was really horrible having an empty room here. So much of my exercise and my recreation and my training is all in this room on this pod. So it's been a pain not having it. So cheers, guys. Let's put the music back on as well, so I'm not talking in a silent room. What else? The rig is rigid, as you'd expect. There's not a lot to say about these aluminium rigs. You know they're going to be rigid. The thing that I think I've noticed that's been particularly different with SimLab so far, my experience with this particular rig, has been that, okay, let's go through the whole thing. Everything came very well packaged. There was no danger anything was getting broken. The boxes, inside the boxes, it was wrapped in paper, wrapped in plastic, wrapped in bubble wrap, everything labelled correctly, so it wasn't just a bunch of metal that you had to try and work out. You know, the front mount was labelled the front mount, and all the screws for that were in a packet with that, although I did make a mess all over the floor with it. But all the different sections were very obviously with their stuff, which made it way easier for me. I didn't have to sift through piles of bolts to hopefully find the right one. And on the bolts themselves, they use these. Anyone who's built these rigs knows that inside these metal, inside the metal frame, there's kind of channels that you slide these captive nut things in. And in the past, I've used the previous rig I had kind of bendy piece of metal on the back, which was effectively like a spring, so when you slide it in, it stays in place. They're quite sharp, and when you're using hundreds of them, your fingers get a bit sore, and they're quite hard to get back out once they're in, whereas the SimLab version is a ball bearing with a little spring inside, so you can adjust things way easier. Once you've got everything built and then you want to reposition something, just loosening the bolt slightly allows the ball bearing to roll, and then you can slide things into position, which has made life a heck of a lot easier. And they're easier to get out as well. If you put one in the wrong place, you can kind of pop it back out more easily, so that's been really good. What else? The design of the pedal tray is streets ahead of the previous rig. And you'd think there wouldn't be much variation, but you can't actually see it in here. Let me see if I just switch to the wide view. Down where my feet are bouncing, this kind of pedal tray area, that is just really well designed. With this, I can raise them up very high, like I wanted in a single-seater. You can move them forwards and backwards very easily. And it's the first time ever that my OBP pedals have been mounted correctly, because the previous rig, you had a set of holes to use, and if it didn't quite fit in those holes, you were knackered unless you drilled your own ones. It was very, very thick metal, so quite hard to drill. This one, it has adjustable aluminium extrusion, which you can just slide into place. So, and SimLab delivered this with a set of, or lots and lots of sets of different sized captive nut threads and bolts. So the OBP pedals have pretty small holes to get the bolts through, and I, in the past, would have thought I couldn't actually bolt it to the frame. I'd have had to bolt it to, with a nut and bolt. But because they have different sizes of these little captive nuts, I could slide them straight on and fitted the pedal straight away. So that's been really, really good. And it means that having a very firm brake pedal, with these hydraulic pedals, I'm not bending the frame at all when I'm braking. So that's really good. What else can I talk about? Cable management. The rig came with these lovely plastic clips. I've seen them before, which you kind of slot into the frame and then cable tie. So that's quite cool. And actually, just tons of spare parts. So if you watched the live stream yesterday, you will have seen that I was left over with a massive box of nuts and bolts, loads of spare bits of aluminium. I could have built like a second rig. There was so much stuff. So they don't kind of give you the bare minimum. They give you enough. So if you got something wrong, or if you wanted to add extra, you've got enough extra bits and bobs. So yeah, I'm just super happy with it, and I definitely recommend this Sparco seat. No one else runs their brake pedal as stiff as me, so no one else is probably going to experience any kind of flex. And I have to press pretty hard to get that, and again, it's only at the top. I don't know what the SimLab version of this seat is like, the SF1, but I think it's either discontinued or it's not in stock at the moment. So there we go, guys. That's it. I'm just going to check if you've messaged me at all. I need to get a better camera, don't I, for the this external view, because that's really poor picture quality, so I'll sort that out. It's just not a very high quality camera. What have you been saying? Arno's here. Okay, so Merkman, why don't things stay calibrated? Because it's a computer and they're evil? Yep. Yeah, okay, so he's throwing some shade because I had a couple of accidents. So I think the setup with the Sparco GP and GT1 Evo will do fine for GTs. Yeah, because you can tip it. And, you still have quite a reclined seat position in a GT most of the time. Or, I don't know. I guess you can adjust it. I like having a reclined seat position. This is just very reclined. Brad, no coffee for you. Okay, Alex says, that time makes me feel sick. What, a 32.7. I could do a 32.5 on the Optimal. Martin says, how are the ribs? The ribs are feeling good. So there's only a very, very small amount of residual pain in the left side. I did a dry handling test at work today, and it was fine. So ribs are feeling good. We're on the reserve list for the next kart race. It's in a week and a half. I've got a feeling it will be 100% by then. Merkman says, seat all sorted. Yeah, the seat's good. Arno. Hi, Arno. I'm enjoying it. If you wanted to add a keyboard tray, I do have a keyboard tray. It actually arrived today, so that explains why I couldn't find it. It was obviously slightly delayed in the shipment, or maybe UPS forgot to drop that bit off. But I've got a keyboard tray. I will try and mount it, but I quite like how it is now. I mean, the keyboard tray might be good, but I tend to have it on my lap. So there we go, guys. That's it. I think I'm going to leave it there. Thanks for joining me. Thanks for watching the crashes and my pursuit of the top time on this new track for me. And I'm going to do some more practice here during the week. I might stream it as well. I don't want to do too many streams and bore you. But we'll definitely be racing on Saturday. I might live stream the race as well. Let's try. But guys, that's it. Thanks very much. And please like M4M's M4M Timber Products on Facebook and simlab.eu. Like those pages. Rosso Sim Racing, go give them a like as well. And OBP Motorsport, all on Facebook. You guys, you can check them all out. So until next time, thanks for watching. See you all later.